In 2020, Social Security recipients saw a mere cost of living adjustment of just 1.6%, and analysts expect it to be even lower next year. Cost of living adjustments are typically calculated based on the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which is a statistic we use to measure inflation. It takes a typical basket of goods and services purchased by an American family and measures the change in price over a period of time. Cost of living adjustments are very important to those on a fixed income or maybe in a position where they're really not up for a major raise or promotion, because it preserves something that we call buying power by keeping their income in line with inflation. With the latest inflationary data showing only a 1% increase, the chances of those cost of living adjustments next year being meaningful is slim to none. But that's not the way most of us feel. Most Americans are feeling a staggering increase in the cost of living, namely at the grocery store. The price of beef and veal is up 25% over the last 12 months. Pork and eggs, those are up 12%. Overall grocery bills are 5% higher today than they were 12 months ago. So what gives? Well, the CPI is a basket of goods and services, and included in that basket are several key areas that have had major price decreases over the last 12 months. Energy, gas is down 17%. Apparel, down 6%, and transportation down 4%. So despite the fact things we need like healthcare and food are having record inflation, our CPI is being dragged down by these other areas that are having deflation. The record inflation isn't just due to this crazy spike in demand that we had back in the spring, but also to limited supply. Prior to the pandemic, grocery stores used a just-in-time inventory method, and stores like Kroger only had 4 to 6 weeks of inventory on hand. But with visions of empty shelves and long lines still well imprinted in all of our minds, the Wall Street Journal reports that grocery stores are not going to make that same mistake again. They're now prepping with something called pandemic pallets, where they're stocking up on staples in preparation of a potential second run on supplies. With cases spiking, other countries going back into lockdown, and the already busy holiday season, grocery stores aren't taking any chances this time. They're also revisiting their supply chain. From farm to train to truck to grocery store is a complicated supply chain and something we couldn't change on a dime back in the spring. The other thing that they're really anticipating is changes in packaging. I used to ask myself all the time back in March, why are we not just redirecting the food that was going to restaurants and schools to grocery stores? Well, it wasn't that we had a shortage of eggs. It was that we had a shortage of egg cartons. Eggs are sent to schools and restaurants in liquid form, but the at-home food buyer needs a carton. It's the same for soda. Are you having trouble finding Dr. Pepper? Well, again, Coke was sent to schools and restaurants for soda machines. We're having a shortage of aluminum cans now, not the actual soda itself. I feel confident that if we have another run, grocery stores in our supply chain have made the steps necessary to ease the demand and the purchasing issues for everybody. But I don't think that's necessarily going to help our CPI or our inflation issues. Inflation itself is not a bad thing. A steady rise in prices over time is the sign of a very healthy economy. But what we have right now is this really skewed disproportion where oil is down 15%, at the same time beef is up 15%. And the disparity in that, in addition to which category is going which way, definitely has the ability to impact certain subsets of Americans way more than the others. Food budgets, as your income drops, represent a higher proportion of your income. And I'm very concerned for our fixed income retirees and our lower income Americans. If the CPI is not appropriately recording inflation for those individuals, how are they going to be affected next year without a meaningful cost of living adjustment? That's it for this week. This is Jeannie Fisher, the 401k Lady.